Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel.
I can see it. The EFF in Limpopo, given a chance now, it will never be Limpopo again because I know where I'm seated now.
Yeah.
The majority of people, without me calling them, they have already lined up to join the EFF. They've seen that this sellout of Ramaphosa, the ANC, will never rise again. Yes.
And the EFF leadership now has entrusted you with the responsibility to sort of revive Limpopo, consolidate the ground towards socialist power. We have just had recent appointments of the ANC, rather Limpopo Executive Council. We have new MECs. Do you have any confidence at all in this newly appointed leadership? And what would be the plan of the EFF to sort of try and show the people of Limpopo that the EFF, whether it is in power or not, it will be within its position, be able to turn things around?
Yep, indeed, we are ready as the EFF, especially with the motions that will be submitted to the legislature, not only to the legislature, in all the municipalities where the EFF is represented. Motions of making sure that we address the issue of unemployment. Now, first, we need to make sure that all security companies must go and let the government appoint people, and also any work that is related to a building of roads, building of houses. We've got the majority of our students who are qualified in road construction, in water and sanitation. Just to give you an example, before I was recalled as an executive mayor because of my love to the president of the EFF, I had a database.
Okay.
Where in this database, I make sure that those that have went for water and sanitation are grouped so that in the next if they left me there, I was going to phase out certain portion of money for tenders and make sure that those students that have done water and sanitation are absorbed into the system. And remember, if you can absorb these students in every department, lawyers, you gather them, and those who wrote instruct, and you pay them. They get benefits like any other worker. Than giving money to an individual who will go and buy for pie and other things. Now, those things I've done them.
Soft life.
Yeah, those things I was starting to do them. Whilst I was still in the ANC, they realized one day when I was in Capricorn Radio with Tabu Sokotani, where I said, now, we're going to do things in this fashion. And when I went out of the station, somebody called me that we are killing our businesses. Are you saying you are going to employ those children and do roads construction and build houses? We are no longer going to build RDP houses. Do you think the ANC will have money? I said, oh, I've touched it. Now, when I came into the EFF, that's the home of that language that I was saying. And I think
Insourcing.
And even when we go to parliament, to legislature, our first emotions, all in the municipalities and in the legislature, they must insource. Simple, to reduce unemployment. That is all that we'll be doing.
Yeah.
We'll push the agenda of the EFF. The manifesto of EFF is going to find its expression in every council, in all the council in Limpopo, in the legislature. They will never slip. If the kind of people that have been appointed there, they've been appointed on factional basis, not because of merit, then we'll meet at the legislature. They will be accountable.
Yeah.
And we know that the previous premier, I don't know, he was not coming to work. I don't know if he was drinking or smoking what, but he was not coming. And I told the current one to say, if you are not here, you'll find us here. And we'll lead on your behalf.
Yeah.
And people shouldn't think that the EFF is small with 9 seats. Yeah, you're going to hear our voice. And people will be listening to us. But by its all, they say, we're enough with the ANC.
Yeah.
And the only hope is the EFF.
Yeah.
And fortunately enough, we are still alive, fighter. And most of the people knows where we are coming from. They know us. They know, right? They won't lie, never lie. Now, they've got proof of what happened. On the 14th is when the ANC sold out and signed out to say power is given back to the monopoly capital. The ANC will never rise again, believe me. Yeah.
And I think Limpopo accounts for over 6 million, if I'm not mistaken,
6
population.
million population.
Yeah, and when you look at the unemployment rate, it stands somewhere around 30.8%, which is shocking. And surely the EFF, as the economic emancipation movement, will see to it that there is employment for especially the young ones.
But we started home. We're not just going to do vingi. No, it's enough.
Yeah.
Our people have been voting for us. Let me give you an example. We'll go to Ward 13 and make sure that schools in Ward 13 are well. We'll make sure that each and every area where people are voting for the EFF are going to benefit. Not no more. If you call me and you say, hey, mwana waka private school, they are mukuba, now I'm going to an area where I know I've got stats. They are going to tell us that this area they've been voting for the EFF will take services there. It will never work. We have been abused, heavily abused here. Because of our good hearts, the EFF have been abused, and they will feel it. Next door. All where we are leading, we are going to make sure that even if there are 3, we'll take all the resources there. We'll create a city in that ward. We're not going to be shaken by people who sold us out. They want us when they are crying. When they buy Japoto or that, they don't call us. We're not going to work like that. We're not stupid. We're going to serve people who serve us, who voted, and we know them. We've got stats. They will see it when it happened to those branches to say, indeed, the EFF is not mad. They thought we were mad. Ubuntu. That's what we're doing. Now they've beaten us. We just have to go with this Nkunana. Roll serve our own people. Because more than that, we'll never have fingers. Now we are enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Our people are looking for good things. They are voting for us. That is our focus. Those that will follow this ANC and the DA, this government of national U10 is going nowhere. They must follow the EF. Because they know the truth. You see?
And loyalty must be serviced.
Yeah, absolutely. Till now we are going to serve our people. That one I am not going to. In Limpopo, they must know we're going to serve our people. Yes, there are vulnerable people like disabled people, like the elderly people, then they go and make sure that if they want to vote EFF, she doesn't go. We are going to, those that are vulnerable and all that, yes, now we know, and that thing will take care of them. But those that are working, no more. No more march. People who vote for the same people who abuse them. Oh, we are not mad. God will punish us because we are system to go and die. Let's take care of those that have voted for us. We've got stats each and every voting station. If it's a voting station, that voting station is going to benefit from what the EFF will be doing.
I mean, just after the elections, the Polokwane municipality just switched off electricity in Tshego, and now we're back to, they just changed the terms. It's no longer load shedding, they call it load reduction. So the people must really see for it that what they voted for is not actually something progressive or something to rejoice, because if for example, the EFF continues giving people boreholes even though they didn't vote for them, they won't see the difference. They won't feel the impact of the lack of service delivered from the people that they voted for. So I think that's the good way to go.
We told them immediately when they started to close and block their cars not to buy electricity, they started to call us, and we know them.
It didn't take time.
It didn't even take a time. The following day, during the elections day, they cancelled all the EPWP.
Oh yes, I think I saw that.
EPWP, I say,
I think was it the Sekhukhune district municipality?
It's not only there; they're doing it silently. They're going no more EPWP, because in Polokwane that Mpye of yours, the mayor, have eaten the money. There's no more money. The money was taking it to election campaigns of the ANC and buying bullets to go and shoot our people in Jujuvedi. That's nothing. The ANC is dead, guys.
Yeah.
The same man, he was my manager in the office. The same Mpye. You can't tell me about him.
Yeah.
He was my ice boy. Yeah. He was my ice boy. Let me put it clear.
The executive mayor of Puloko.
Yes, he was my ice boy.
Yeah.
Hey, go and take ice there. He will run. Today, yes, can you take an ice boy and make him a mayor? Huh?
Yeah, shocking indeed.
You can see now what happened in the legislature. I don't like to talk about them, but you are going to see. Why? Somebody in New York.
Oh, the former DG of DECO.
Now today, Pes is having a pest
finance,
in finance of Limpopo. Who 118? Bamu tabula shutu. Can you sell land in New York? Eh? Do you see Romero Luchiriva in the ANC? They send a person who doesn't know that you can't buy land in the Western
which was never occupied, by the way.
Yeah. Now, what do you think?
Fruitless expenditure.
But they don't fire him. They promote him.
Yeah.
To say, go and sell fake land. What are they going to do?
So the public purse of the people of Limpopo is not safe.
From day one. But we've got him.
Yeah.
He will account. He will run away. More than that, they must change him.
Yeah.
Because we are going to make noise to say, where's 118
million?
Million. Did you pay it back?
Yeah, that will be very interesting.
He must go and tell us.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit with a person who took out 100. It's our money. It's a taxpayer's money. We must get a report from the premier to say the 118 million, which was a fruitless expenditure in New York, America, he refunded it.
And that money could have been channeled to issues of water, issues of roads in Limpopo.
118 million. If he can bring it with him, then children will go to school free of charge. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That man must go and account in Limpopo before and tell us where's 118. Did he pay it back or what? Because we are not going to work with somebody that we know is a thug.
Yeah.
And we leave him there. I don't think that money, it went to the people he was working with. He's saving a share.
Oh, what they call kickbacks.
I mean, you do it deliberately. In America, you can't buy land. You are not allowed to buy land, but you say you are going to buy land. And you say you are educated, yeah? And you know the politics of the country. The reason why you live about Cheba Wisha candidates because they know Kalifile. This man is Kalifile. He stole this 118. Gamina Gawena, there's nothing.
Yeah.
He was not fooled.
Yeah.
He knows where it's 118. He must go and tell us.
So you think the new premier, the first female premier of Limpopo, Dr. Popera Matuba, has blundered in assembling her executive?
No, she's not doing that on her own, Chief. She's been somebody, I told you earlier to say, somebody's in the office. He's a statue in the office. He doesn't want to go out. He's there. He's telling her what to do. Not only that, I want her. That all these men who surrounded you, you're going to be corrupt. You'll see. I'm not prophesying, but I know all of them surrounding him. Those that never benefited are facts like those that are remaining.
Yeah.
Babaland, they're crying now to say our people who are not playing well there. I know of 3 chairpersons who are crying now. And believe me, that lady, she can enjoy. I feel pity for her.
Do you see her finishing her term as the premier?
You know, they speak of 2 center of the other of these chairpersons want to become the chairperson of the province. She thinks she's just going to walk like in the park and get the chair. It's not going to be easy for her. The ANC is dead. They're fighting for food, no longer making sure that our people are liberated. Economic freedom in her lifetime will never be realized within the ANC. The lady, she can't lead. Because I don't undermine, because it's a woman, because of the people who have surrounded her, the kind of team that they have appointed for her. it is unfortunate. If she appointed, it might be one, not more than two. I say it now without fear of favor. If she appointed, they can't be more than two. The rest, I don't think if she was well, she can go and appoint my wife, man. She can't do that. When 118, she was not going to do that. Yeah? I don't believe that. And I said it earlier to say, when you deploy, you must be able to be clever enough and be able to know or not fighter Titus, even if he didn't go to school, but what exactly can he perform to the best of his ability?
To qualities.
Qualities. Now, I don't see quality there. We are trembling as people of Limpopo. We don't know. Things are bad. And the people of South Africa are in, everything is collapsing, people. This one sleeping with his mentors because he was mentored by whites. No one can tell me. He was mentored by whites from an early age. I don't say his father because he was a policeman. Yeah, because his father was a policeman.
Yeah.
He had proxy to say, let your son become a sellout. Whether he liked it or not, we are seeing him as a sellout. People of South Africa are angry. Members of the ANC are resigning in masses as I speak.
So you strongly believe that the outgone Premier of Limpopo, Stan Mathabatha, still has got influence in the politics of Limpopo and also the executive of Limpopo government?
He's still there. He's still with Poppy. She can't take a decision without Mathabatha. But now they say, like I'm saying, the people of Ubumche, those that were aiming to be MECs, they don't know what to do. Everybody wanted to become MEC. Now, the chairperson that I alluded to, their people didn't be deployed.
Make the cut,
They are left outside.
And in the cold.
In the cold, and then now they've been used to chow. Others, when we at the first sitting to elect the speaker, somebody was wearing a suit with tie to say, I told my wife to say I'm going to be the speaker today.
Yes, sir.
When he arrived, they say, Speaker Itabam Sadi. I saw problems, man. People were crying for us. As if I'm a leader of the ANC. I'm a leader of the EFF. But they come here and cry. And I feel for them. But the only thing that they must do, come home.
Yeah.
I've been telling you, come home to the EFF. And they'll be coming, fighter.
And this thing called GNU is more likely to, by extension, to expand to local government. You understand that the ANC now is in bed with the DA, with their coalition. Now, it is expected, or rather there are talks that it might lead into local government. And we have local government elections in 2026. So now, what will be the EFF's plan to sort of nip this nonsensical GNU, if you like, the elect pact, to ensure that the interest of the people is put forward and actually the poor and the marginalized are catered for?
Firstly, after the establishment of this government of National U10, they came up with a position to say we must go back to the people. Firstly, just to establish that this government of national unity is undemocratic. It's undemocratic. Where did they get a mandate to go and fall into? They were supposed to call for the National General Council, call all branches, tell us this is a predicament. The voters have dictated this to us. And I don't think they can go and do it at the local level. The outcome of 2026 will never favor the ANC. Never. They will never. That arrangement is the last arrangement after 30 years. And it will never repeat itself again. By that time, remember, is the EFF, our things, we look at the generation to come. And next election, most of this generation, they will be leading themselves. And I'm certain that the EFF by that time, you'll be leading. You'll be leading.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah.
Now, currently, it's just a marriage of inconveniency with the DA and ANC. If they still dream that come 2026, they'll find themselves in the same marriage. No, the voters will come up. They never expected to be at 40%. And I think they can't expect to be below 15% in 2026 because come 2026, they will never bypass 20%. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you are the chairperson of the EFF in Limpopo, just recently been appointed, and you were, during the elections manager. What is your impression of the 2024 general election, particularly looking at the EFF's performance in Limpopo?
They're both internal and external challenges. I'll start first with the external ones. You know, the MBD, the IEC, so even the government, there's an unholy alliance of the Municipal Demarcation Board.
Okay.
Every time when there are elections, you know, they make a study. Let me give you an example with Ward 13 in Polokwane. Currently, they need to, you know, cut certain areas which belongs to Ward 13 and take it towards 17. Because now they know concentrated power of the EFF in that particular area. Again, the stations, the voting stations, they have been locked in farms. One of the things is that there's no voting station which must be less than 500.
Okay.
And when you get into that farm, it's a family of Kukemur Meraber. Meraber and his family and his relative. The workers are only 10. Then you tell me that is a voting station. The white supremacy is still in existence within those structures of MBD. That's what they're doing. They create voting stations for Bobasa. Now, it's an Oranian kind of station that have been established. We have made statistics. As the EFF, as an election manager, I'll be presenting a report of the outcome of these elections. How skewed are these voting stations? It's voting station with 189 people. Less than 50% go and vote for that. That station is useless, but they're doing it for whites. That's what they're doing. We have made that analogy. Is there. We'll be presenting it to the leadership and make sure that we correct that situation. Secondly, the internal ones, our internal, are weighed in by the external ones. Because where voting stations are very far, our resources are strained.
Okay.
It's not only us. The study that I made, even the ANC, we will never find it. Even if they've stolen money, they're failing to reach those stations. It's only 000 in terms of party agents and other things. Now, the first meeting of the PLC will be presenting as the EFF to do away with any station with less than 500. A station with 189 people, you can take 3 or 4 buses. They are bused to a nearer station. Cost effective. When you create a station for 189 population registered, what are you trying to do? Because you have to take presiding officer and his officers, party agents, material and all that. Money will be less. You hire buses, you transport them. That's the position that we're taking to the PLC. And also the unholy alliance between the government, the IEC, and the Municipal Demarcation Board. Because we are not going to allow every term to demarcate. Every term, demarcate. This thing must be regulated now. And say, we're going to embark on demarcation and get the views of the people in the coming 10 years or 15 years. Not every 5 years or every municipal elections, there's demarcation demarcation or delimitation of the boundaries. That must stop. And we're going to present that as the EFF and even agitate our people to march against such nonsensical thing. And inclusive of our Mahosh, when all these things are done, they undermine even our chiefs and kings and queens. The reason why we say we're going to make sure that we make submissions to the PLC of IEC and change these things.
The former EFF chairperson in Limpopo, Josie Butana, seems to have a personal vendetta against the EFF leadership. Do you think his exit from the EFF has got any material or significant impact into the growth or the performance of the party in the province?
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. I fell man. I can't talk about my young son who is lost, shame. I'll never do that. I love Josie too much. He's lost, shame. And, even those that is joining, they have joined what we call a cabal. He didn't join the ANC, Josie.
He joined the cabal.
Josie joined the faction of Mphe. This Mphe recruited Josie to his own cabal. Yeah. Now Josie, as I speak, Mfanaka okakanegile man. Mfanaka okakanegile. And no poso is no more there because you see ubuyi magamo. Dijodi fedile. Now it is unfortunate because Mfanaka is talking too much. He must supposed to be silent and quiet. Things will shape up and it will be good.
Yeah. He
must be quiet. He must leave the EFF alone. If we want to speak, we can't speak about. We can't even speak ill about him. No, we are not in a business. He's a black child. He needs assistance. Assistance. Now you can't kill that young man. I'll fight you because if you kill him, shame man, just look where man. Don't do that. You must wait here. No, I can't allow that. Hey, man. Hey, can't do that. I can't allow that, man. Yeah. I love Josie too much.
Sure.
He's just lost, but he'll come back.
We'll come back to his senses.
He'll come back to his senses.
Yeah,
I love him so much.
Yeah. So, leadership, we understand that a branch is a basic unit of the organization. We have a task now to sort of revive and grow the organization in Limpopo. What will be the work of the organization at hand to ensure that the organization grows in a bottom-up approach?
We are going to align the work of the legislature, the work of the council, with the work of the movement. There must be a synergy. All the programs of the movement or the challenges of the movement must speak to the work of the legislature. What I'm trying to imply here is that we will be having our own oversight visit, okay? And having our own oversight visit will be making submissions to the legislature. Again, what we'll be doing, we strengthen our branches through the projects and programs that have failed. We're going to appoint full-time staff. Things will never be the same in the EFF. We're going to create a lot of organizational posts, starting with organizing. Constituency offices must all be covered and make sure that each and every branch with its own program of action, its own membership, is monitored by full-time personnel. The branch is the nucleus of the movement. If we are not going to take care of the branches, we will never exist. Fortunately enough, some of us have been organizers for more than 30 years. We're still alive. We want to leave legacy in the EFF and make sure that we train the future generation to build this movement. Yeah.
And when we look at the EFF, it has been growing very well, qualitatively, over the past years. Now, what will be different now with your leadership and that of your predecessors? What will be unique in your leadership?
You see, I would say I'll be banking much on my experience. And my experience, when I look at it, I'm one person who work with a collective. That's number one. I think that is my strongest point. I don't impose. Secondly, I'm kind of a consultative person. All the organs of people's power which are in Limpopo, I'm not new to them.
Okay.
All organs of people's power are going to have a program of action to have a dialogue with them. The main issue in that dialogue will be saying, we are at the crossroad. Or we are at the cul-de-sac. Now, those organs of people's power must be able to assist us as the EFF. If we have made mistakes, they must tell us and say, the way you are operating, we don't like. We need you to do like this. Each and every organ will be visited and get their views. And later on, we meet as branches of the movement and the structure and understand and analyze what we have gathered and be able to make a submission to our leadership to say, in Limpopo, Mawoshi are worried about our behavior in this. Mangaka, they are worried about on this. The teachers, Satu, is because of this. We are going to embark on that journey. We are going to be opening up on ourselves. As long as the EFF can open up, people won't come in. Now we're going to them and open up. They will tell us where are our weaknesses in Limpopo, where they can be able to contribute for the growth of this organization at the level of the branches. Yep.
And that will set the tone for the upcoming elections, be it 2026 and 2029. But now, as we wind down this conversation, people may be interested in knowing that perhaps Limpopo, things have not been going well. Are you at liberty to talk us through some of the loopholes that perhaps the EFF may not have been able to capitalize on over the past with its past leadership?
You know, gatekeeping was the problem in the EFF. Nothing else. People loved the EFF, and there were leaders who closed every gate because they fear that those that are coming in, they're suffering from inferiority complex. When they see Titus coming in with his knowledge with media, they close the gate. That thing will never happen again.
Not under your leadership.
Not under me, no faction. Yesterday I was meeting with the staff, telling them that you are activists in this office. Anyone who really will be testing a high voltage with your tongue, come with factional tendencies in this office. Even in the branches of the movement, people must know how to take care of one another and make sure that we grow this organization. And nothing else, nothing more. Basically, our work will be found at the level of the branch. Nothing at the sub-region. Every leader who is a leader of the EFF, any fighter, must go to the ground. And above all, our leaders must learn to love our fighters.
And it's
Our
there in the
leaders-
constitution of the EFF.
They must learn to love our people. You know, fighters, they need nothing. They don't need tenders. They need only leaders to be nearer to them and advise where possible. But when you are at a distance, calling them, you think that you're talking to them 1 hour on the phone. You have a service the branch. We are not going to have such people in our midst. Those who think they will operate like that, bring your resignation letter. I'm ready to receive it. Not in my term. We still have a very serious problem. Must go all out and have a dialogue with our people about the outcome of this election and what they want to see in the EFF. Simple as that one.
Yeah, and you have a fond relationship with Mahoshi. Can you just talk to us about the role that you'll be playing to ensure that there's this synergy between the traditional leadership as well as the leaders of the EFF in Limpopo?
We have already started, and I think the only place that we still need to go in is the organized entities like Contralesa.
Okay.
But we are in good relationship with the newly founded one, Rolesa. It's very difficult to penetrate Contralesa. But I know what is the problem. I respect Mapoulo. I can't say it now. I'll say it when I'm with them because I'm still going to meet them. But we have made inroads around Skukun and other areas like Capricorn. who have made some inroads, like in Bembe. There are chiefs that are waiting to be met. They are ready to join, especially now. And the inroads that I've done, they're not starting now. I've started meeting the chiefs as early as 1991.
Okay.
Now, the relationship between myself and the house of the royal houses, it's a long-standing one. And fortunately enough, even if they have problems with the ANC, they call me. And I'll tell them what to do to join the EFF. Because they joined, during my term, I was making them to join the ANC. Now, currently also they can join the EFF. And it's what I'm doing. I don't like them to be shy. They must join the EFF with that oomph as they've been joining these thugs. Now the ANC is gone. They will never get any land. The only hope is in the EFF. Nothing else.
Yeah. And we really appreciate Commissar Lawrence Mapoulo. Kana, what's your African name again?
Mapoulo Omsatlana.
Oh, Mapoulo. Okay, what does it mean though?
Mapoulo is it's a name. You know, Khabo, not Khabo, a monkey. Flame.
Flame.
Yeah.
Oh,
when you see me,
there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah,
kind of
there's
vibes.
fire there.
There must be fire. Okay, no, we really appreciate the fire. We can feel the flames that you are going to engulf Limpopo with the style of leadership that you've just presented, and we really appreciate the food for thought. And the fighters now know where Limpopo stands organizationally. We have the best amongst the best in terms of the leadership that has been assembled, and the leadership has entrusted you as the chairperson to lead Limpopo, and we are really wishing you all the best, chairperson, and we will support you. Hence, we have you now on the EFF podcast so that you announce your plans, and we really wish you all the best, and we appreciate your words of wisdom. We're drinking from your well and appreciating the wisdom that you bring, the wealth of knowledge that you bring into the organization. So thank you very much for coming through and joining us here on the EFF podcast.
Thank you very much. May God bless Africa in the leadership of the EFF. Thanks.
And song of the day?
Upepela.
Upepela.
That's a
Why
nice
the song though?
Hey, I love it so much.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I just... it's a volume 3, eh?
Yeah, volume 3. No, it sounds very revolutionary.
Hey, I like that one.
Yeah, it takes you back in the days.
She knows my wife every morning. I'll play it before I go to bed.
Okay. No, that's very nice.
And play my hands like this.
Okay, no leadership. Thank you very much
thank
for
you,
coming
Fighter. And you are doing a very good work for the movement. I need to say it here that... they are looking at you, these other copycats. If they can do something like this, we are going to tell them that you are copycats. You see our fighters doing this. But thank you very much for the good work that you are doing for the movement. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thanks. And thank you very much, the people of South Africa, Africa, and the world for tuning in. And Tate Mapoulo joined us here on the EFF podcast. Is the commissar, the chairperson of the EFF in Limpopo, announcing his plan of action. Awukho esikhathi sokudlala manje. Heads are going to roll. Is going to make sure that the EFF is built from the branch level all the way to the top, gearing up for 2026 and ultimately 2029 elections. So we're signing out, as you can hear in the background, Upepela from EFF Jazz Hour Volume 3. And we have come to the end of the show.